Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another crypto video. As always, it is Nick here, back through the crypto news and analysis. And actually, today we're going to be live streaming this one again. We're pretty much just going to update you guys throughout the entire market, what's happening with the entire market, but we're going to be discussing mainly the end of the market. We're going to be talking about the life-changing wealth, right? Because we are extremely close to that aspect in the sense of actually getting to the point of making our wealth and actually taking it out, because I think that that is the biggest problem with this market. A lot of people talk about life-changing wealth so loosely, right? They're just like, you're going to be pretty much rich by the end of this bull run. It only goes by what you put in, okay? If you put $10,000 in and you make $100,000, that's not bad. That's a 10x. If you put $10,000 in and you make $1 million, that is 100x. So when we talk about a lot of this stuff, okay, we talk about how much do you really need to put in to get life-changing wealth. Well, I've already done videos on that, and it all goes by your end goals. But today, we're going to be specifically talking about those end goals in a sense of where we do really kind of lead to throughout this entire market. So we're going to be addressing the dollar, we're going to be addressing the indices, we're also going to be talking about Hbar, XRP, and also Bitcoin, and how this all goes together in a sense of actually getting to the end goal of life-changing wealth. So let's jump into it, but before we jump into it, I just want to let you guys know that I still have the Crypto Crusader trading pack for sale on my website, $50, and you get a bunch of stuff. You actually get everything on my website. It's a one-time pretty much fee of $50. You pay $50, and this gets completely updated every single time that I make a new video on the website with no extra charge. You could pretty much download those videos once they get released just by purchasing this one time for $50. Just to let you guys know, you don't need to buy this. You're not obligated to. I'm just saying, for anybody who wants to know my exit strategies and all that kind of stuff, you can learn that. But today, let's talk about the overall market. Let's actually refresh, because things have changed drastically since last night. We are actually up 5.09%. The market is up 5.58%, sitting at about a $1.96 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is around the $43,000 level. We see Ethereum around the $3,000 level, and most of our altcoins are just ranging a little bit below their major support zones, or just in between a major chop zone. Now, when we're talking about the entire crypto market, and we're talking about all these life-changing assets, a lot of people like to speculate a little bit and say, well, these assets are going to run massively. Well, it's a difference between saying, an asset's going to go to $100 and then actually going to $100. When we're talking about the end of this bull run, my targets for XRP are already around the $15 to $25 range, but I've discussed how we could go a much higher. Same goes for Bitcoin, right? My end goal targets for Bitcoin are topping around 85 to 95K, and yeah, we could go to $120 to $150,000 plus. I just don't think that we get there this bull run alone, and I've discussed why we don't get there. I've talked about the fractals of percentages as well as the 4-year cycle, which I think that we are trading in perfectly, because I even discussed how everything looks almost the same. A lot of charts look exactly the same. Just to give you guys a quick insight, let's go check out LTC, right? Let's go to all time in terms of the chart. Look at this pattern that we played out here perfectly. Now look at this pattern back here in September all the way to October, before it ran up and did a massive run all the way up to $360. It is the perfect definition of a repeated cycle. This is pretty much the repetition of the 4-year cycle, and I've been talking to you guys about this, and I've been discussing why I think that this 4-year cycle is going to be extremely massive, especially for a lot of these altcoins. Now let's talk about Hbar. Let's also talk about XRP. Now Hbar, like I said, until we really break out of the 36-cent zone and actually break above 40 cents, which is the major sign of resistance up there, the major resistance level is actually around the 38.3 level. So until we actually really break that zone and really break above that 40-cent line and actually hold above there, we won't see too much momentum on Hbar just yet. But I think that the entire market also has to range within this and actually get to a point where Bitcoin is ranging a little bit higher while Bitcoin dominance is a little bit lower, so that our altcoins could actually move. Now, with this, The only thing that concerns me is that we're still kind of trading in the chop zone. We've seen a little bit of strength yesterday, but overall, we're still in between the 31.5 cent to 33 and almost a half cent zone. This is the major chop zone between resistance and also support that we even traded back here before the major breakout event to our recent all-time high. Personally speaking, with Hbar, when we're talking about life-changing wealth and we talk about the end goals, I've already discussed where my targets are, $3 to $6 with high targets of 10 to 15. Our topping point would most likely be around the December to January timeframe, so we still have a long way to go, but it's not that long of a wait. I think realistically we could be very patient here and still wait this out perfectly. I've actually been buying more on the dips as I discussed with you guys, but overall, when we're talking about a topping point, it could probably be around the end of December, somewhere around Christmas time. So we're going to be talking about the 20th of December to even like around the 25th of January. A lot of our altcoins, for an example, like XRP, didn't really top out until, January, the beginning of January. But if we talk about this cycle lengthening just a little bit, where, the 112-day span comes from on Bitcoin to really range us into January, that could be the lengthening cycle that a lot of people have been talking about and discussing, and that will top us out somewhere around the end of January into even the beginning of February. But overall, I think that we most likely top out somewhere around that end of December into beginning of January timeframe. And I think that when we talk about the targets for Hbar, I'm still dead set on 3 to 6 with high targets of $10 to $15. Now, overall, with Hbar, I think it is one of the strongest assets at the current levels that has held significant strength in regards to its major support zones. As I've talked to you guys, we have been holding the 50-day MA closely down at about 30.5 cents. That's why I didn't feel too bad buying at about 31.5 cents as it was major support. So overall, when we're talking about, what is a good plan to get into Hbar, I would just say somewhere around that zone in regards to holding the 50-day MA. A lot of people think that we're still going to go lower on Hbar. They think that we're going to test like 25 cents to 28 cents. I don't think that that's the play at all. In fact, I think that if we do retest any sort of level, it would be around this level down here at around almost 31 cents. So, for me buying a little bit high, DCAing in a little bit, I'm not too concerned with that overall. And when we talk about some major prices in regards to XRP or even Hbar getting hit this, bull run alone, I still think 3 to 6 is fairly conservative for Hbar. Now let's talk about XRP a little bit. So XRP is a little bit different than Hbar. It has been really riding too much strong support besides the 100 down at about 88, almost 4 cents. But it is in between some resistance of the 200-day MA. As you guys do see, we tried to break out of it yet again. Couldn't hold above it. That's most likely thanks to Bitcoin. But when we talk about XRP, we have also been ranging on the major support of about 92 cents almost. So overall, when we're talking about this, XRP also has a lot of strength around the 100-day MA as well as around the 92-cent zone. As you even see it kind of bottoming out a little bit down here below the 100-day MA just a little bit. But overall, I think XRP is showing a lot of strength as well. And when we talk about the end goals, like I said, this could easily see $15 to $25, especially if we repeat the 2017-2018 bull run pattern. And like I showed you guys, a lot of the altcoins look exactly the same as 2017-2018. So if we do repeat that same cycle pattern, we could be seeing high targets of roughly about like $25 to $35, which would be very, very good for us. But overall, we trade the market. We don't trade, speculation. So when we're talking about, what I'm personally seeing in regards to technicals on XRP, I'm seeing those high targets of about $10 to $15 being actually targeted, not so much the $25 to $35. But I think that we could see those if we do repeat that same 4-year span, which it has been showing a lot of strength in regards to that. So we definitely could see those high levels, in regards to the 20s being targeted if we follow that same structure. So we will continue to watch this structure playing out in regards to the weekly span. This goes all the way back to Bitstamp as well. Let's go to the weekly and take a look at this. So I've discussed the percentages in regards to 2017-2018, where it was almost 2,200% from our current levels in September. The September low that it made, which was around here. If we do a 2,000% of an increase in price from that level, which we could actually discuss and look at that. So overall, let's go from the bottom of this candle and let's actually go to the topping point at about let me go to that bottom officially, 1 second. So let's do a 2,200% of an increase in price and see where we do land, because this is the significance of that 2,200% of an increase in price. So that would bring us to about $20 overall in regards to that aspect. Now, when we're talking about going back to 2017, 2018, that 2,178 would most likely be increased in percentages. So we could see a little bit of an increase or a tapering off event where we go to $25, kind of increase this by roughly 600%, where we do top out at about $25 overall, which is significant. But we could also see those high 30s targeted if we do increase this percentage a little bit more, similar to the 2013, 2014 percentage fractal to the 2017, 2018 bull run fractal, which, just so you guys know, back here it was 817% compared to a 2,000, almost 200% run in 2017, 2018. And when we look at the chart, we have a little bit of a dip back here in even October and September, where we kind of pump out a little bit, kind of drop down a little bit more, and then we fly in that November, December timeframe as well to top out in January. So when we're discussing what the charts look like, again, there's a lot of similarities in the charts, especially comparing, even Litecoin, but also even in XRP, where we're just kind of ranging in these little fall months in September, October, and then November is the major breaking event. So we could range sideways on XRP throughout even October, if you will, until we get to the December timeframe or the November, December timeframe, where we really kind of see that major price action play out, where we do top around the January timeframe, which I do have up here around January 31st, and also around the beginning of January as well, which would be the same sort of topping point going back to 2017, 2018 as well. Now, obviously, with everything in mind, when we're talking about altcoins, we cannot stop discussing Bitcoin as well, because we also have to watch for Bitcoin in terms of strength. And like I said, this has been just trading between the 44K resistance point and the 42.5K support zone. So until 44K is actually broken on Bitcoin, we won't see too much high grade, targets being hit on our altcoins. So what we really want to see right now is Bitcoin break out of 44K and actually hold above it. I thought that we could have seen a nice weekly close above that level, but we didn't really see that yesterday. So what we're going to be doing in a sense of watching Bitcoin is just kind of watching this entire week play out into Thursday, because Thursday is the monthly candle close. Hopefully it is fairly bullish, because I personally think that it could be very bullish for us to have a nice monthly close on Thursday, kind of pump throughout the weekend, with, of course, the beginning of October being fairly good for us. But overall, we do know that October is not as great as November or December, but I think that in October we could also see some fairly good price action, even going back to the Bitstamp chart. Let's go to the weekly and check out what happened in October of 2017, 2018. So let's get this percentage fractal off the screen. Overall, here's the bottoming point in September, okay? Our original move started on September 25th to regain some strength. October 2nd, we continued up. October 9th, this is the weeks of these dates, by the way, just so you guys have a little bit of clarification. But as you guys do see, in October, Bitcoin started to gain some strength. We had a little bit of a pullback in November. We continued on the high up in regards to November's ending month date. And then by pretty much the beginning of December, we were already well beyond our new all-time highs, ranging to the $20,000 almost zone. And again, as you guys do see, a lot of people were calling for 20K, and we barely, we didn't even make it there. We barely scratched the surface of 20K. So that's what I mean. Like, we almost get there, but then, it just turns into, the bear market, which is, again, why I think when we talk about 100K for Bitcoin being the target, I just don't think that we get there. I think that we do something like this, where we almost range to 100K, but then we have that major sell-off event, pretty much making a lot of people trapped in their bags, if you will. But as you guys do see the strength of Bitcoin riding the 50-day MA down at 39.3K roughly, that is the significant level that Bitcoin really wants to hold is the 50-day MA. As you guys do see, even in regards to the pullback in June, look at what level we mostly held. I mean, we peaked down a little bit below it, but as you guys do see, we didn't really dip too much far below it, and we regrasped it very fast. As well, this goes all the way back to even the March of 2020 crash. Check it out, right? We peaked down below it. We almost broke every single MA, but we regrasped that 50-day MA every single time. Even going back to the original 2017-2018 bull run, we rode that 50-day MA the entire time, especially even on the daily. Let's check out the daily, and I just want to show you guys that real quick. So let's go all the way back to 2017-2018. This is where you really kind of see the strength of the 50-day MA being held to actually hold and just kind of ranges higher throughout the fall months going into even November and also even to December. So I'm watching Bitcoin very closely as we kind of just range on some major support and also between some major resistance. Bitcoin dominance for what it is has regained some significant level above the 41.85% zone. I want to see this gain some weakness, to be honest with you guys, and break down a little bit below some major support levels, maybe at the 40.98% zone. I understand that there is a lot of FUD going throughout the market in regards to the USDT and stuff like that. So overall, when we're talking about this, I think that Bitcoin dominance will end up pretty much collapsing on itself very soon. That's going to be ranging throughout October. We'll really kind of see the Bitcoin dominance levels pretty much range throughout this week, kind of gain a little bit of strength, but by the end of October, we'll probably see this taper off and come down and retest possibly even 40% and go lower, especially going throughout the later months. Now, like I said, I'm watching the S&P 500. Also, I'm watching the NASDAQ and also the Dow Jones. A lot of these look fairly strong in regards to gaining some strength. Again, look at what they're trading on, the 50-day MAs. The Dow Jones, pretty much trading on the 100-day MA now, below a little bit of the 50-day MA. Until we really kind of break out of this, we won't really see too much rallying on the Dow Jones. Same with the NASDAQ and also even the S&P 500. We really kind of just want to range above the 50-day MA, hold that as support, and kind of just range higher. Like I said, I think that we could see 16,000 plus for the NASDAQ. S&P 500 is 5,000 plus, which I do have marked up there on the chart. So I think these three will continue to rally throughout the fall months, especially as we get into like the holiday season, especially in regards to spending and all that kind of stuff. Now, in regards to this, I'm also watching the dollar closely as we do range on some resistance. I really want to see this break down and actually reject that resistance once again. That will pretty much give us the clear validation point to retest the 50-day MA again and kind of reject that and go below 92.74, which would be a significant bullish event. So when we talk about Hbar and we talk about XRP, I think that these two are very strong in a sense of trading on some major support levels. I'm really going to continue watching these throughout the week, as well as pretty much everything, right? We talk about Bitcoin, we talk about Ethereum, we talk about Bitcoin dominance, the dollar, the indices. All that plays a huge role in this week as we do range into October, because I do think that October is going to be fairly bullish for Bitcoin. So overall, I'm very bullish on our altcoins as well as Bitcoin itself. So with that being said, I hope that kind of clarifies everything. And I'm just going to wrap up the video here and keep you guys updated throughout the week as we do range further into the fall months, which I think is the life-changing wealth months of the bull run. We are basically there, guys, so please be patient. Just hold on a little bit more, and I promise you that the ride to the top is going to be very, very exciting. So with that being said, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys don't want free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, it's Nick here. Peace out, guys.